Welcome to the Drew Yari Show.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Yari. The date is Tuesday. Well, I don't need to tell you what the date is. This show comes out every Wednesday. So I'm not even going to announce what the date is anymore, because every Wednesday the show comes out. It is Thanksgiving week. Turkey Day is on Thursday. I call it Turkey Day for any Brooklyn Nine-Nine fans that are out there. That's pretty much the premise of Thanksgiving. So yeah, just had a show that came out on, I guess, midnight on Monday. Because that was the Survivor Series post show. Not too much news going on. A couple things here and there. Basic stuff. Again, I want to apologize for not being able to put out a show last Wednesday. For anyone that listened on for the Sunday episode. Last week's episode was it was bad. Like, you literally could not hear me. You maybe can make out my voice faintly, but all you hear is just all this. So, I mean, I found a solution for it. I'm getting somewhat better at editing these shows. I'm on episode 56. I'm just now learning how to edit shows better. So, yeah, there's that. So, yeah, again, kind of I wouldn't say a slow news week. There's two big things kind of dominating the landscape as far as anything that's wrestling or entertainment news. I guess we can start with the big, kind of the big news that came out last week. James Ellsworth, for those who don't know. He was outed as what I like to refer to as a creep. A fan who, I'm not going to mention her name. She has a Twitter. I shared the video. For some reason, I can't play the video. I can play YouTube videos, but I can't play videos on Twitter. She exposed James Ellsworth. She says, and I'm just kind of paraphrasing here, that she shows up to a lot of independent wrestling shows. And she met James Ellsworth, and James Ellsworth was, asking her how old she was, and she said, I'm 16. And he said, never mind, forget that. And one thing led to another, and she gives him his Snapchat, because, she wants to follow him, she's a fan of James Ellsworth. I'm just gonna only assume she was a fan of him, through, WWE, like anyone who knows who James Ellsworth is. You're a fan of him, his work in WWE, or you just know him, through WWE. So he sends just really creepy videos and nude pictures to this 16-year-old girl, and she actually posted them online. She wasn't just lying about it. This wasn't just another Enzo case where that girl was clearly, she openly admitted, she openly admitted that she was mentally ill, that, and she has a track record for, making stuff up and getting people in trouble. Even her friend outed her as being a liar. This kid actually had proof. She actually posted the pictures and the videos that Ellsworth sent her on Twitter, on Snapchat. It's just really creepy. I only literally saw a second of it. He's flicking his tongue and laying in bed half naked. It's just ugh. So there's that, and more news came out today that other women came out and outed Ellsworth as being a creep. I think the one thing that makes this even more creepier is that Ellsworth is actually married. He's married and he has 2 kids. Two freaking kids. And this freaking website decided to crash. Hold on. Yeah, he has 2 kids, and it doesn't help that, it really doesn't help that he's, sending nude pics to an underage girl. But You know, okay. Even if it wasn't to an underage girl, he was still cheating. You know, outside his marriage. So, you know, his marriage is done. His career is not only done, his marriage is done. So let me just pull this website up. This website back up. Yeah, he apparently had been doing this with other women because in the video, the girl had said that he had been known as kind of a creep to other women. That some woman said that he said, "Hey, come to my car after." I guess come to my car after the show, blah, blah, blah. And yeah. That woman was 30, but still he's apparently married and, you know, trying to flirt with other women at other shows. I had this tweet up, someone named Paris, at Paris WWE had said, James didn't send it only to Click Kid. That's that person's Twitter. Come on. Someone named Lynn. I'm just gonna leave the actual names out. He sent stuff to me before, but I'm a consenting adult. So he sent them to you also, or others on this thread. No need to be vague at this point. We also previously reported that another individual come forward claiming their 17-year-old girlfriend was approached by Ellsworth. You can read more here. I'm on ringsidenews.com. There's just more news coming up. Apparently, yeah, this isn't the first time he hit on an underage girl. I mean, yeah, 17 years old here in Texas is considered an adult, but that's still underage. Like, I'm not okay with that. You know, that, I guess it's a supposed law where, you know, 17 years old is of legal consent, or you're pretty much considered an adult here in Texas. But to me, that's still underage. It's still creepy. You know, Ellsworth is pretty much, he's done. Okay, here's another. First off, I know for a fact she was telling the truth because James was flirting with my girlfriend who was 17 at the time. Forced her to take a picture of him, so yeah, she's totally lying about this. It's important to note that the authorities have not been called, and Kenzie even asked what the fuck are the police going to do. Ellsworth denies these allegations, and his attorneys have been called baseless. Yeah, on James Ellsworth's Twitter, he didn't say anything. It was his, I guess his attorneys, his legal advisors. He has the tweet pinned on his profile, so it's literally like the first thing you see when you pull it up. And it reads, and I quote, "My client, James Morris, his real name, known publicly and professionally as James Ellsworth, has become aware of a number of baseless allegations. Mr. Morris has the utmost respect for women and categorically denies these inflammatory and despicable accusations. Bates and Garcia, attorneys at law." I don't know how you could fight this because this girl literally has proof. She has cold, hard proof that what he did is what she said he did. Like there are 2 or 3 things in this world you can't come back from, and sexual assault's one of them. You know, look at fucking Kevin Spacey. Or not Kevin Spacey, Harvey Weinstein, you know, and child molestation, which, look at what this dude's doing, and, you know, I forgot to mention Bill Cosby as sexual assault. And I guess, you know, animal abuse, look at what happened to Michael Vick, his career he kind of had a career later on, but he's pretty much done for. He's been irrelevant for a while. You know, this is something that's always taken very seriously. I mean, now it's taken seriously for the WWE because they have a history of protecting pedophiles. Look what they do with I'm trying to remember his name. I'm trying to remember his fucking name. What was that big Donahue interview about in the 80s? Yeah, fuck it. It'll come to me. But yeah, he pretty much he's kind of screwed the pooch. He's screwed his own career. Like, cause the impression I got was that after a while, WWE would have called him back. Because the reason why they released him is because they had nothing for him. Like, they literally had nothing for him. So they released him, and I'm pretty sure they're going to call him back for something, like make an appearance or be someone else's lackey. Or maybe even go to NXT. Now it's done for. Even if, say this case were, like, it come to find out the girl was lying. I'm saying, scenario, girl was lying, they still wouldn't hire him back because, look what they did with Enzo. Well, also, I think in Enzo's case, they just didn't like him. Like, even though the charges came out that he did nothing, they just don't like him. I don't know how they felt about James Ellsworth. From what I understood, people liked him. Nowadays, not anymore. So yeah, he's already starting to lose it. A independent wrestling event kicked him off their show. So it's already starting to be the end of Ellsworth. It's the end of his marriage, and pretty much the end of his life. There's really no way coming back from this. Like, no way at all. Once you do stuff with kids, you're done for. There's really no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I find it disgusting because this is a guy who he was on Wrestling Soup. Like, when he had his first appearance on Monday Night Raw against Braun Strowman to put him over, and then what is it, like a month or a month and a half later, he shows up on SmackDown. He beat AJ Styles, I think, 2 or 3 times? He beat AJ Styles when AJ Styles was the WWE champion. And he headlined WrestleMania. If you think about that, he headlined WrestleMania. That's how freaking nuts that is. And he was a big part of, Carmella's success. And, they fire him and they bring him back to put him with Mella again. So, I don't know how a guy like that could know he has literally a job waiting for him. And then you decide to pretty much fuck it all. That's like, I don't know. I mean, any example could work. That's like if you have a CEO position and the company is telling you, try not to bring any, negative publicity to this company, and you decide to go out and drink and drive drunk and crash your car. What do you think the company is going to do? I'm not saying all companies would do it. Some companies would protect their employees, regardless of the stupid shit they do. Any company with a brain that actually cares about their publicity would, get rid of you or get rid of the problem. That makes it sound like that they want to kill them, but they would find a way to kind of slowly get you out without making any noise about it. So, yeah, James Ellsworth, you really fucked your career up, man. It's just gross to think about. I guess, speaking of gross, as we all know, last Monday on Veterans Day of all days, we all lost Stanley at the age of 95. The comic book, the king of comics. He was the co-founder of Marvel Comics. He brought everybody that we know and love to life. Like Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, X-Men, He didn't make Captain America. I think he had a hand in making Cap. I think Cap came out before that. Actually, no, he did create Cap. He was our childhood. And, I talked about this on the show that no one will ever hear. I'll keep it brief. Stan Lee, he was a part of my childhood in a big way. He really, he made people kind of just not enjoy superheroes, but just, he made superheroes that are more relatable to people like us. When you look at Spider-Man, at the end of the day, Spider-Man's Peter Parker. Peter Parker is dealing with real life problems. He's dealing with, college tuition and, when am I going to be able to pay my rent, or I need to be able to find a way to support my Aunt May because Uncle Ben's not here anymore. The X-Men, perfect example. They were created in the 60s during the Civil Rights, and the mutants represented, the blacks, and the people that weren't mutants were the whites that hated, and feared mutants. Just like in the Civil Rights, blacks wanted their civil rights, but whites didn't want to give it to them. They hated and feared them. And, that's the one thing that always separated Marvel from DC, whereas, DC's taking more larger-than-life heroes and kind of giving these larger-than-life stories where, as much as I love Batman, I mean, come on. I'm a billionaire kid whose parents are dead, and now I gotta live in this big, cushy mansion with billions of dollars. Whatever will I do with my life? I mean, yeah, that sounds kind of like a dick thing to say, but it's just like, that's not really relatable. Or, Wonder Woman, I'm a goddess from, Themyscira, or, Superman, I'm an alien from another world. I can't relate with people, and, I'm more powerful than anyone I know. Again, those aren't characters we can relate to. I sure as hell can't relate to them. Someone like, Captain America, Steve Rogers, a man out of time, a man who feels like he's, not a part of this, who's not a part of our century, who's trying to get more equipped, with our world. That's someone who we can relate to. The Punisher, deals with, PTSD. That's something we can relate to, or someone that we know can relate to. My dad, for example, has PTSD. I don't want to put his business out there, but he deals with PTSD. I mean, he's not a vigilante that goes out and kills evil people, but that's a villain. That's someone who can exist. The Punisher can exist. Frank Castle can exist. He made characters that were more grounded in realism. Everybody in Marvel lived in New York. In DC, it was always Gotham City or Metropolis or Central City. So, but with Stan Lee, he didn't want to teach you about comics. He didn't just want to teach you about comics and superheroes and, A, B, C, and D. He was a guy that, he wrote his own column in 1968 where he was denouncing racism, and that went viral again, right after his death. He was a guy that was a huge advocate for, civil rights, for people, for telling people, stop being idiots, stop being racist, stop being, ugly to each other, and let's all be friends. In a video he posted, he said, to only paraphrase, that, that girl right there, she's your sister. That, that man right there, he's your brother. Let's all just hold hands. Let's all be friends. Let's all get along. Stop being ugly to each other. Let's all be honest. I'm tired of racism. I'm tired of bigotry. I'm tired of all of it. I'm tired of all this negativity. I want to live in a world where we can all get along. You would think that's, something we can all abide by. Bill Maher, on the other hand, host of HBO's Real Time, did not think so. He pretty much, and I didn't watch the video because it was just going to make me mad. He pretty much mocked Stan Lee's legacy and called anyone who likes comics stupid. And I'm just reading here on Huffington Post. Um, he mocked those mourning Lee who pretended that comic books are sophisticated literature. So I'm assuming he hasn't read Killing Joke, V for Vendetta, and Watchmen, who were on what's that thing that books are rated at, like the Wall Street Journal or whatever you want to fucking call it. Like those are there's actually classes in big time smarty pants colleges that will use that in their fucking classes. Like, that's a fact. Look it up. And then he said the guy who created Spider-Man, the Hulk has died, and Americans in the Morning. And this is where it pissed me off. For a man who inspired millions to, I don't know, watch a movie, I guess. He has faced the fucking wrath of the hell from everybody. Not just comic book fans, but people who actually respected Stan Lee, actually knew Stan Lee. His own company, POW, released a statement, and I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'm just going to read maybe part of it. Comic books, like all literature, are storytelling devices. When written well by great creators such as Stan Lee, they make us feel, make us think, and teach us lessons that hopefully make us better human beings. One lesson Stan Lee taught so many of us was tolerance and respect. And thanks to that, we are grateful that we can say you have a right to your opinion that comics are childish and sophisticated. Many said that about Dickens, Steinbeck, Melville, and even Shakespeare. And they also added, but to say that Stan merely inspired people to watch a movie is, in our opinion, frankly disgusting. I mean, kind of going back to civil rights, Stan Lee created Black Panther. Black Panther, a white guy created T'Challa, an African superhero from Wakanda. One of the very first black superheroes to get their own title, and then he created someone like Luke Cage. Another strong, independent, black superhero. So he wasn't just out there to make superheroes, he was out there to make people that are more relatable. As a black kid, you see comics and then you see Black Panther and then you see Luke Cage and you think to yourself, hey, that looks like me. Like, hey, that's someone I can relate to. Like, those are characters not just in comic books, but in movies and TV shows that are always popular because you see that person and you relate to them. You relate so much to them. It's the same thing with Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman, you'd always see those pictures of, little girls, looking at the Wonder Woman poster and going, I want to be like her. There's finally a movie with someone who's like me, who's tough and who's beautiful, but also tough and independent and intelligent. Not just someone who's sexy and runs around and acts like an idiot and cries about everything. You got someone who can actually kick Batman's ass, who can actually fight with Superman. So yeah, Bill Maher's an idiot. Like, and I'm not trying to sound like a hipster, but it's just, he hasn't been relevant in a while. I've never been a fan of his. I don't like this whole thing about him where it's like, I have to be shocking. I have to say things that are shocking. And he's so hung up about Trump that he's looking for any fucking reason to blame anyone for it. And apparently he blames people who read comic books as the reason why Trump was president. So I remember he made a comment a couple years ago before Stan died, where he blames superhero movies for the reason why Trump is president, and then he comes out and says, the people who vote, Trump to be president of the United States are the same people who think comic books are real or read comic books. I'm just tired of this whole stigma where it's like, oh, people who read comic books are stupid. People who like superhero movies are stupid. Here's the way I see it. Superhero movies are movies. The genre is about superheroes, but they're movies. They're still movies at the end of the day. Same thing with comic books. They're still books. There's still a hardcover of something you open, and then there's paper in it, and words and characters. They are literally still freaking books. I don't know what else to tell you. The genre has become a lot bigger than it was before because these are the movies people want to see. we live in a world where you turn on the news and it's just nothing but just terrible, awful, heartbreak, people losing their homes, like in this California, wildfire thing, which I feel terrible for. I feel terrible for anyone who has to go through any stuff like that. If you have to, if you lose your home, that's one of the worst things that can happen to a family, to anyone, is when you lose your home, because that's your home. That's your place of comfort. That's your safe haven. And then you lose it in something that just seems like it happened out of nowhere. So I feel terrible for anyone who has to go through that. But, for movies are, movies basically, there are escape from reality. There are only escape from reality because we can watch a movie and our mind can be at ease of what's going on in the outside world. Same thing with superhero movies. Always make the claim of, like, the times we live in, it'd be great if superheroes did exist. It'd be good to have an Iron Man or a Captain America or a Batman, or a Spider-Man. We need heroes. And we have real heroes out there. We have cops that are out there risking their lives. We have soldiers that are out there, overseas protecting us, putting their lives on the line. You have firemen who are out there, I think, probably have one of the hardest jobs, trying to save people from these fires. And, the fact that they're able to do that, they're tough. They have my respect automatically. So, for Bill Maher to say this, it's stupid. Like, I don't know what caused them to think this would be an okay idea to go after Stanley. Like, clearly, he doesn't read comic books. Clearly, he just looks at it as just like, oh, he made comic books. Clearly, he didn't do his research. He's so, like, stuck up on Trump that he's looking for any reason to I guess he's looking for a patsy to blame for it. So, and I'm going to quote Neil Gaiman: Stan Lee dead is worth more than an alive Bill Maher. That's pretty much it. Bill Maher has never been worth anything. I mean, the guy is known for just being completely disrespectful and then getting called out for it. Like when he had a bunch of wrestlers on his show. He had Roddy Piper, and I'm forgetting who else on the show, but he's literally just, he's calling wrestling fake to their face. And then Roddy Piper gets off, takes off his shirt, goes, "You call this fake?" And he's pointing to like this, nasty scar that he had. And then he brings up Owen Hart, saying, that, Owen was my best friend. Do you want to call his death fake? So, as far as I'm concerned, fuck Bill Maher. He's an irrelevant idiot. No one should even give him the time of day. I'm pretty sure he's going to have some smart-ass comment when he has his next show. Whenever the fuck that is. But, yeah. Anyways, enough of this fool. What else is going on in the news? The entertainment world. Come on. Well, I don't know. There's not too much news going on in the entertainment. I guess the only thing that really happened was that they showed the trailer for, I guess, Ellsworth. I think that's what it's called, for the Green Arrow and Flash crossover that's going to have Batwoman in it. In the trailer, they mentioned Batman more than once. It's not just like, oh, have you heard of Batman? No, it's like, Batman, 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 Batman. And then you see Batwoman, it's played by Ruth Rose, just pop out of nowhere. And Green Arrow and Flash are just like, holy shit. So I'm interested to see where that goes. I guess the thought process going in is that Bruce Wayne, they already dropped Bruce Wayne's name before. I think they dropped his name last season. Batman does exist. Obviously they're talking about it because, I think Green Arrow said Batman is just a myth. He's not real. And then, what's it called? The thought process is that Batman's missing. He's been missing for a while. And that's why Batwoman is, protecting Gotham City. So, I don't know. They already have Superman. And now they have, and pretty soon I'm pretty sure they're going to have Batman. And the rumor is that, there was a rumor that was kind of debunked, that they were going to give this Tyler Koechlin kid who's playing Superman, they're going to give him his own show. Mainly because what was going on with Henry Cavill and his Superman contract, that he was supposedly done playing Superman, and Ben Affleck was done playing Superman. That's why they want to bring in Batman and Superman on the small screen. I would be really hyped to see that. We already saw Smallville, but that wasn't Superman. That was Superboy, or whatever you want to call it. And we never saw Batman on the small screen. We saw Batman the Animated Series, which is what we all grew up on in the amazing Adam West show back in the 60s. I'm not going to disrespect Adam West, I'm just messing. But we never actually seen a show like a Batman show that was equivalent to what's going on with Arrow. Because Arrow, let's just be real, Arrow is basically Batman. Since they couldn't use Batman, they gave a lot of Batman-esque storylines and villains and shit to Arrow, which it worked. Everything. It works just as long as they make it their own and don't try and copy too much. It works because it's kind of like with Supergirl. Supergirl announced that they are bringing in Lex Luthor, who's going to be played by John Cryer, who, as many knows, is 2.5 Men, Charlie's brother. I haven't watched the show in a while, so I don't know names. And he played Ducky in 16 Candles. Or was it Pretty in Pink? I don't know. They both seem like the same movie to me. So I don't know how he's going to pull that off. Maybe he'll do a good job because CW hasn't been too bad with casting. They've usually done right with their casting. The guy who played Ra's al Ghul, Matt? Was it Matt? Not Matt Bennett. Now I'm forgetting. I used to be good with names. I'm bad with names. Yeah, the guy who played Ra's al Ghul in Arrow, he was very good. Because I had my suspicions about him. I didn't think he was going to be very good. He ended up being very good. He was very intimidating. He fit that role to a T. Almost as good as Liam Neeson's performance in Batman Begins as Ra's al Ghul. So yeah, John Cryer, mainly known for comedy. He's, I don't know. Maybe he can pull it off. Maybe he can bring something new to Lex Luthor. Because when I see him, he's any role he's in, he's always very, very hyper, very happy, very smiley. Maybe that can work. Maybe he can play that up to his strengths in this role, where he comes off as the nice guy, but when the cameras aren't rolling, he's a fucking psychotic piece of shit. He wants to get rid of this fucking alien. He's been wanting to get rid of, her cousin, Kal-El, Superman, for the longest time. Now she's in the picture, and he's just like, what the fuck, what's it got to get rid of these aliens? So, I don't know, maybe he'll do a good job, maybe he'll prove me wrong. He couldn't be as bad as Jesse Eisenberg. So, I'll take that back. Jesse Eisenberg wasn't that bad. I just think he was trying to be too comedic. Because when you look back at it, he was basically Jim Carrey as the Riddler. And in the end, he shaved his head, but I don't know. I don't have a problem with people bringing something new to the character because you can't always play the same role. You know what I mean? You can't always... it's like with the Joker. every Joker had their own spin on things. I mean, at the end of the day, you're the Joker. You're always going to be the Joker. You're always going to laugh and cause chaos. It's that kind of like aura or presence you bring to it. Cesar Romero was comedic, and you brought in Jack. Well, he was crazy, but he was also comedic. Mark Hamill was a little bit of both. On that show, you couldn't be that dark. Especially on like animated shows. So he couldn't be that dark. He was, very comedic, and then later on when they brought him back on, like in the video games or what have you, he still had that presence, but he was also psychotic. Heath was, Killing Joke-esque. And he was very intimidating. He was scary. It was kind of like Pennywise the Clown meets the Joker. If Pennywise the Clown and the Joker had a baby, it'd be Heath Ledger as the Joker. Jared Leto, I'm 50-50 on because he didn't get a lot of time in the movie, so it's kind of unfair for me to say that his Joker sucked. But then again, by default, he's the worst Joker because, he didn't do much. And that's the studio's fault because the way they were advertising this movie, Suicide Squad, they're making it out to be, is the Joker going to be is he going to be, what's the fucking word? Is he going to be like, is he pretty much going to be the villain against the Suicide Squad? You're going to see Deadshot go be in Suicide Squad like in that Assault on Arkham, which that would have been fucking awesome. But no, he was only in it for like 10 minutes, and it seemed like it was like less than that. And I think, even Jared Leto was pissed off about that. He was like, I was supposed to be in the movie like 20 minutes longer, or like 30 minutes longer, but they cut my shit. And he told, DC to go, he pretty much told DC to go screw, and now they're still making a Joker movie about him, which, I don't know if it's going to be a Joker movie anymore, because they said they finished the script for Joker and Harley. So is he going to appear in Birds of Prey, I wonder? But, so yeah. And, Jared Leto's shaving to get in, shape or get the look down from Morbius Living Vampire, which I don't know how that's going to do. Morbius, I really remember from the Spider-Man cartoon. That's a cool character. It has a cool concept to it. I like what Sony Marvel is doing because they want to take characters that need their own spotlight and they kind of want to give it that horror movie vibe because Venom was kind of a horror movie. It was kind of treated like a horror movie in a way because, regular Joe Schmo, comes across as alien that takes over him and now they're eating people. With Morbius, that could really be a horror movie. That remains to be seen. But yeah, CW. Very interested to see how that goes. Keeping up with the recent season of Arrow, I like where it's going. I really wish that they would focus more on Ollie in jail. Because it seems like they're just... They show a lot more of the crew, Ollie's crew, doing, trying to fight back and, get Ollie out of jail, rather than show Ollie in jail, because those scenes are a lot more interesting. So, the crossover episode is supposed to be in 2 weeks. And, yeah. Flash I've not been keeping up with. I've kind of fallen off Flash, because it's kind of gotten really cartoony. I think they're aiming more for humor and cartoony, and they're really making Iris seem a lot bigger than she already is. I don't know. Iris and Felicity are tied with the most annoying girlfriends they're tied with the most annoying girlfriends on superhero shows. I'll just put it that way. Black Lightning, I have not watched the new season. I want to watch the new season because I like the first season. Black Lightning was kind of like that was a very quiet success because we're also fixated on Arrow. We're all fixated on, Flash, and to a degree, Legends of Tomorrow, which I don't watch. But Black Lightning was kind of just like, it did good, but not a lot of people talked about it. It's weird because I think the first episode had the biggest ratings for any like new CW show. I think it had bigger ratings than Supernatural. I think so. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, Black Lightning was very good. It was really good. I like the concept of Black Lightning because they went with a different concept. They didn't just say, "Hey, let's bring in a good-looking 20-something actor and let's give him this origin story." It's like, no, we'll bring in like a 40-something, guy, and the story is going to be that he used to be a superhero and now he's retired, still has his power. His powers are kind of like at bay, then something happens and his powers come back, and they're in their own universe. I think Black Lightning isn't anywhere near like it's not in the Arrowverse, that's for sure, and I don't think it's in Supergirl's universe. As far as I'm concerned, it's in its own universe. It's in the Lightning universe, which I think that's what it's called. Which I'm very interested to see what they do. They supposedly are going to bring in Static Shock later on. Like, I don't know if it's in this season or just sometime down the line, which I'm really interested in. I was a huge fan of the show growing up. I honestly didn't know that it had its own comic. I thought it was an original character. It did have its own comic. The show was freaking amazing. I loved it. Again, it's one of those shows that doesn't get a lot of attention. With superhero shows back in the 90s, it was all about Batman. Superman's cartoon wasn't that good. And then you had Justice League, then you had Spider-Man, and then you had X-Men. But Static Shock, it was very, very good, but it kind of went under the radar in some ways. That's a show that it really should get its own show. And I believe Static Shock, the character, I think he's Black Lightning's son. If I'm not mistaken. I think. I need to look that up. Give me 1 second. Well, it's going to take more than 1 second. Type that in here. Common description is that Hawkins is the son of fellow superhero Black Lightning, who debuted. Black Lightning addresses the coincidence once in Justice League narrative. Static has made numerous appearances, blah, blah, blah. So it's not his son. Static Shock is not Black Lightning. Okay, that pretty much tells me everything I need to know. Yeah, that's something that needs to be its own show again. Like bring him into this show, and then give him his own spin-off, like they've been doing with other characters. Like they did that with the Flash. They had him come in like second season, kind of like what they refer to as a backdoor pilot. And then they gave him his own show the next season. Or was it that season? I think I believe it was the next season. There you go. So, and they did it with the Punisher as well on Marvel. They put him on Daredevil, gave him his own show. They put Luke Cage on Jessica Jones for a couple episodes, and they had his own show. That works. Like, put Static Shock on a couple episodes of Black Lightning. See how that works, which it will work. It should work. And then give him his own show. That's something that anyone who grew up in the 90s is going to want to watch. Anyone who grew up in the 90s loving superhero shows, that was a fan of the show, will want to watch. anything that was a part of my childhood, I will watch. It's like, and this is another topic we can go to, the Pokemon trailer, Detective Pikachu, starring Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu. There were doubts, like, how is this going to work? Like, why would we want to watch a movie just about Pikachu? And it's not just Pikachu, it's an entire fucking universe of Pokemon. And again, you were kind of like sketchy, like how are they going to pull off Pokemon in CGI? It's not just CGI, they have, I guess, like Pokemon dolls. And then they CGI them to move around and look, I guess, a little bit more realistic. And I like what I saw. I mean, that movie could bomb and be terrible, but I'm still going to watch it because I like the Power Rangers movie. I loved it. Other people hated it. I loved it. I think the people that didn't like it were the ones that didn't watch it, that didn't understand it. People like me, and I'm not just speaking for myself, I looked on my Facebook and people that I know personally watched it and they said they fucking loved it. I loved it. Especially the scene where they're all teaming up and they get into their machines. I shame on myself for calling them machines. I'm pretty sure they're not called machines. And they play the Go-Go Power Rangers theme. I was hyped as fuck. The little kid in me just like jumped out and like, yeah! Same thing for Pokemon. Like, they showed that trailer and they showed a whole universe of Pokemon. They didn't just show Pikachu, they showed Charizard, which that was pretty cool. They showed, Bulbasaur. They showed, Jigglypuff for a hot minute. They showed, Mr. Mime, which people seem to go crazy about. I was not that crazy about. I will be super fucking hyped to see this movie. I will be first in line. If my girlfriend doesn't want to go, I'm just going to go by my fucking self. I will go there, eating my popcorn, drinking my fucking soda, or sweet tea, because I'll probably be at Draft House when this comes out. And I will watch the shit out of this movie. What the fuck is this thing doing? So, yeah, the trailer looked good. I liked it. Again, it looks like it'll be goofy. It might not be good. It might not be a good movie per se, but Ryan Reynolds is a part of it. I love Ryan Reynolds. Lately, Ryan Reynolds could do no wrong. He was Deadpool. It seems like he's latched himself onto another big franchise. I don't know, depending on how long they want him. But I'm pretty sure he'll stay on this. I think it'll be like Venom, where the critics will give it a shitty review, but the fans will love it and they'll pay more money to see it. I think nowadays that's kind of become what people care about more, is that they just want to see a movie and have fun. I mean, yeah, we love our Marvel movies that do well. We love Avengers. We love Black Panther. We love good movies. We love good storytelling. But at the same time, we just want to have fun. Venom was fun. Was it a good movie? No. Did it have its faults? Yes. But it was fun. We had fun watching it. And that's why it continues to make money. It's already passed up all the X-Men and, Deadpool films and, the box office. It's already passed up Star Wars. It's making money, so that's all that matters. I mean, would you rather have the movie that is really good and, makes good money, or would you have a movie that just makes a shit ton of money but, didn't get that many good reviews? So that's all that matters. They're getting a sequel, and, we're getting Carnage in that. But, going back to Pokemon, I'm interested to see what they do if the movie is successful, which I think it should be. Pokemon is still something that people are into, because you have the people like me that grew up on it, and then you have new generations of kids that love it, that play it. So what else could they do? Are they going to do another origin story? Are they going to have Red and Blue in the game? Are they going to have Are they going to bring in Ash Ketchum? Which I hope not. Or they're just going to bring in completely new characters. That too would be interesting. Another interesting concept they can do is make a Netflix show. Kind of like with, Pokemon Origins? Where it took the storylines from the game and made them a little bit more darker than, the actual TV show that we grew up on, which I personally like that. I think that's a concept they should go with. Whether it be, live action or animated, I'm fine with both. As long as it's done right, I'll watch it. If it looks like I know it's going to be good, I'll watch it. And speaking of Netflix, Netflix is also developing a Legend of Zelda show. I think done by the same people who are doing Castlevania. Let me look that up real quick. Nintendo CEO addresses Legend of Zelda. Netflix rumors. If this thing wants to continue being slow. Oh, come on. Yeah, it's not really giving me any good news. Trying to find a website that can give me some news. The video streaming service is in the early stages of developing a live-action series based on Zelda. Netflix is describing it as Game of Thrones for... God damn it, I don't want Wall Street Journal, you piece of shit. Come on, move. Oh my god, this thing just took me all the way down. For a family audience... The Zelda games have traditionally included swords and sorcery, like Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings, but typically with a more lighthearted, kid-friendly tone. Netflix spokeswoman declined to comment. A Nintendo spokesman said the company doesn't comment on rumors or speculation. Also doing a Devil May Cry series by the same people who did Castlevania. That's really about it. If they do a Zelda series, I'll watch. I never, for the life of me, could finish a Zelda game. They're one of those games that they're fun to watch, but for me, I play them and I can't get through it. I need walkthroughs to finish it, and those walkthroughs even tire me out. They're hard games. They take like 20 years to finish. I mean, that new Zelda game that came out for the Switch looks fucking amazing. It has amazing graphics. I think it's I think it's the highest rated Zelda game of all time, if I'm not mistaken. So, these are things that we all want to see. It's good that they're, bringing video games to life, but as long as they're made right, this is the thing. I'll never know why video game movies never do that well. It's, we live in an era of, comic book movies that are finally being done well. So, now's about the time where we can see, a video game movie done well. We could see a much better, version of Mortal Kombat done. The first movie was bad, but I loved it. It's something I still watch. But if the guy who directed John Wick, for example, was cast as the director, he also directed Deadpool. If it was announced that he was gonna, reboot the franchise, I'd watch it because John Wick was awesome, and so was Deadpool too. I guess only certain video games could be done right. Maybe watch a Splinter Cell movie. That'd be interesting. And have Josh Brolin as Sam Fisher. You see, the casting writes itself. Or get the Russo brothers to direct that. The Russo brothers should direct a Splinter Cell movie and have Josh Brolin as Sam Fisher. That would be fucking amazeballs. I'd watch that. I'm a huge fan of the Splinter Cell games. What else could you do? They're doing a Division movie. That's what I heard. And Jake Gyllenhaal is producing it. Division movie. The Division. Yeah, I saw Jake Gyllenhaal tied to it. Yeah, he's starring in it, and so is Jessica Chastain. And somebody named David Leitch is directing it. He sounds familiar. I've seen his name before. He's done... Oh, he did John Wick. He did the first John Wick. Or no, he directed some scenes in John Wick. Okay, never mind. And then Atomic Blonde, which I haven't watched the whole movie for that. I'm trying to see what he directed. I know I've seen stuff he's in. Okay. Oh yeah, he directed Deadpool 2. There you go. John Wick, Atomic Blonde. He's directing the Hobbs and Shaw movie, which is The Rock and Jason Statham from Fast, and he's directing The Division. Which, all right, the game I didn't hate the game. The game's very good, but it's kind of bland. I guess that's the only way I can put it. It's not a terrible game, but it's just a very bland game. I mean, that's the only way I can really put it. That's something that has the possibility to be good. Because that looks like a movie. That looks like a movie that's been done before. I can't really seem to really put my finger on where I've seen a movie like that before. What else could be a movie? They're doing a Halo series on Showtime, I believe. Which I'd watch it. I'm hyped for that. I don't know. With most games nowadays, they're very complex. It seems like a lot of them could be movies like Fallout or Far Cry, or shit like that. A Resident Evil movie. It's made by a better director. I watch it. Bring in the John Wick guy, since he seems to be very good at making action movies. So, I guess we're done with movies for now. We can. I think that's pretty much it, for the entertainment portion. If there's anything I'm missing, what exactly am I missing? Am I missing anything? Creed 2. I think Creed 2 dropped today. Yeah, it dropped today. I want to fucking see that. I know it's gonna be on par with Rocky 4, which Rocky 4, in my opinion, is the best Rocky out of all of them. In my opinion, that's the one I like the most. Creed 2, the first Creed was very good. That was something that just came out of nowhere that no one expected to be a hit. Because when you take a character from another movie and give them their own spin-off, it's always a huge risk. If it's a Marvel movie, it's different because Marvel that seems like something people automatically latch on to. But for a character like Rocky, for the Rocky movies, and you take Apollo, you take a character, Apollo Creed's son Adonis, that was a huge risk because it was like, why do we care about Apollo Creed's son? And then you saw the trailer. The trailer looked like a superhero film. It literally looked like something out of a Marvel film. And, Michael B. Jordan, anything I've seen him in, he's always been a very good actor. And then you have a director like Ryan Coogler, who it just seems like he's pretty much, like he's pooping out hits. any film he's done has always had good reviews. Fruitvale Station is the first one that comes to mind. Then he had Black Panther. And before Black Panther was Creed. It was just announced he's going to do Black Panther 2, which I'm hyped for that. It should be good if he's on it. And I think he's producing Space Jam 2. The sequel to Space Jam. Which, why the fuck not? If you're Ryan Coogler, you want to do something that's fun. And Fruitvale Station, that was a very serious tone. Creed 2, for the most part, had a very serious tone. Black Panther, it was a fun movie, also had kind of a serious tone. With Space Jam, it's like, why the fuck not? I already have hits. I have money. I make good movies. Let me do the sequel to Space Jam with LeBron James in it. Because I'm Ryan fucking Coogler. Yeah, I don't blame him for being part of Space Jam 2. Yeah, Creed 2, he's not going to be a part of it this year. I think because he got tied up with Black Panther, I believe. But Creed 2, I'll see that. I don't know if we'll have time to see it or have the money to see it, but we're going to see that. It's came out the same week as Wreck-It Ralph. Wreck-It Ralph 2 Breaks the Internet, which I want to fucking see that. The first one was very good. The first one was a hit. Movies that have a very unique and simple concept are the ones that tend to do better. With Wreck-It Ralph, it was like, this is a guy who lives inside a video game. And he's stuck with other video game characters. To me, Wreck-It Ralph is probably the most successful video game movie. Movies that, have that nostalgia, feel to it, because how Disney was able to get all these, copyrights is just unbelievable, because you saw you saw Street Fighter characters in there. You saw Sonic. I'm trying to think of other characters. Fuck. I think you saw Mortal Kombat characters in there, if I'm not mistaken. And in this sequel to Wreck-It Ralph, you see Disney princesses. You see Penelope in a scene with all these Disney princesses. You see, other licensed Disney characters, like Marvel characters. You see Iron Man fly by for no apparent reason. It's also going to be one of Stan Lee's last cameos. He before he passed away, he's going to be in Captain Marvel. He's going to have a cameo in Captain Marvel and Avengers 4. It hasn't been decided if he's going to be in Far From Home. They haven't came out and announced that. They already said he's not going to be in Dark Phoenix, which that sucks because he created X-Men. Come on. Or New Mutants. So those are the only known movies that he's going to be in. He's already going to be in Wreck-It Ralph, and the sad news was that he died before he could see his cameo in Wreck-It Ralph, which that sucks. Or any of these other movies. So it's going to be hard seeing him. When we see him in Captain Marvel, it's going to be hard. It's also going to be hard seeing that graphic of rest in peace, Stan Lee. Apparently there's fans that want to see Deadpool replace Stan Lee. That'd be interesting. Just have him come out for no reason and just interrupt people's movies. Especially now that Fox is a part of Disney, which it was announced that China had approved of the Disney deal. And it's apparently going to be announced at literally the beginning of next year that the deal is going to be officially in business. And then I think Kevin Feige, or the CEO of Disney, had said that the deal could be finished by April, which I'm like, didn't you guys say it'll be finished at the beginning of the year? You made an official announcement that said it'd be done by the beginning of the year. Or whatever. So yeah, we're done with the entertainment portion. Let's kind of get into some wrestling to kind of close out the show. The fallout from Survivor Series was kind of less than impressive. On Monday Night Raw, the whole show is basically just Dean Ambrose hiding from Seth Rollins. It kind of seemed like a bad episode of Scooby-Doo, where you remember in Scooby-Doo, they'd be chasing the villains and they'd be going through those random doors, and they'd be coming out, and the villain would be chasing them, or one person would come out, and another person, some random person on a unicycle would come out. That's what it seemed like, because Dean Ambrose, or Seth Rollins opens the show to call it Dean, and then Dean kind of makes the shocking allegation that Roman got what he deserved, and that's why he's answering to God, and Seth got what he deserved, now it's answering to me, which, my girlfriend's sister was like, they shouldn't have gone there, that's fucked up. I'm like, yeah, it is fucked up, but that's just something that they do. They're not above using somebody's personal life, to further a storyline. They're going to use Roman to further the storyline. I knew they were going to do it. I mean, I don't know if Dean was going to come out and say, I'm glad Roman got leukemia. I gave him leukemia. It's like, but we didn't know each other 11 years ago. It doesn't matter. I still gave you leukemia. I mean, I shouldn't laugh, but it's not above WWE to use somebody's, tragedy to further a storyline, i.e. Eddie Guerrero. Randy Orton telling Rey Mysterio, Eddie's not in heaven, he's in hell. Or having Batista tell Rey, Eddie's dead and I'm not thinking about him. So it is fucked up. It's very fucked up and it's disgusting, but again, it's something that they do and it's something I know they're not above doing. Or if it's something that's beneath them. But he's pretty much telling Dean, hey, come find me here. And then Dean shows up and he's not, or Seth shows up and he's not there. And then Dean shows up again, hey, I'm right here. Seth shows up, Dean's not there. So, and then to close the show, Dean's not really making any sense as usual. Like, I'm not sure what Dean is supposed to be now. Because he's basically like, last week he's, rap music video Dean sitting in a car, sitting next to a fire holding a gas can. And now this week, I don't know what the fuck he's supposed to be. He's Stinky Dean. He's like saying, what's that smell? You people smell. The first thing that comes to my mind, I think of Hulk Hogan and O's Bard. What's that smell? And then I shared that gif from SpongeBob from the very first episode. That smell. That smelly smell. That smelly smell that smells smelly. Anchovies. So, I don't know where this storyline's going. It just seems like they gave up on it already. Because it had the opportunity to be something. But it just seems like they're making Dean wacky again. Because now he's just saying, he's insulting people's hygiene. What's next? He's going to call him a poopy face? He's going to tell them that they shouldn't wear white after Labor Day? Is Dean going to come out and just go up to a random kid in the audience and point at his shoes and go, what are those? Is that what Dean's going to do? Is he just going to throw out 6th grade insults? I don't know where this Dean Ambrose heel turn is going. I don't know. It's starting to look like shit. And Seth is just trying to sell all of it while he apparently has some cold ones waiting for him in his hotel room, which that's a bold-faced line. What else happened on Raw? I don't know what the fuck else happened on Raw, because Raw sucks. It just sucks. I mean, they made pee-pee jokes about Drake Maverick. That was suspected. Ronda Rousey came out and she got a pretty good promo, I think. And, Baron Corbin came out and said, I'll give you competition. There's Mickie James, which, it was a good match. It was an okay match. It wasn't a terrible match, but it was an okay match. Braun Strowman is apparently is legit going to have elbow surgery. The rumor was that he was working hurt, and this was a way to kind of write him off, TV. The Baron Corbin, Bobby Lashley, and and Drew McIntyre ganged up on him and beat him up, and Baron Corbin, quote unquote, broke his elbow. So I don't know if that's what broke his elbow, because I heard he was working hurt. Somebody said he was working hurt. So I don't know if that was a way to write him off screen, because the talk is that he's really gonna need surgery and he's gonna be out for a while. He might even miss TLC, which, if that's the case, hold him off until Royal Rumble. That'd be the best possible way. Have him come out at Royal Rumble and maybe win it or do something. I don't know. Hold him off. Don't just rush him back. I mean, the best thing to do would have him come back at TLC, because that's a TLC match. He wouldn't have to do too much moving around. He would just have to beat the shit out of Corbin. So that's really about it. What else happened? I guess that's it for Raw. I watched SmackDown tonight. SmackDown was SmackDown as usual. That's what you expect from the B show. It opened with Charlotte coming out, and Charlotte, getting cheered. I'm not sure if she's supposed to be a face or a heel. I mean, maybe they're just giving her Becky Lynch's gimmick since Becky's out for the foreseeable future. Paige comes out with her oversized fucking lips. Her lips literally look like those, prop lips that you see at a store. Like the ones you use to, put over your, normal lips, and they look like oversized lips. That's what Paige literally looks like. I put on Twitter, she is literally tight pants with oversized injected lips. That's literally what she is. And I had a good chuckle over John Jaber. It seems like Paige wears the same jeans every fucking week. She always wears cut jeans. That's literally what she wears. So, yeah, she comes out and says, it seems like she's going to fire her or suspend her, and the whole time Charlotte is laughing. She doesn't look like she's pissed off, she's just laughing. And Charlotte's like, Charlotte, for attacking those referees, I will find you 100,000 smackaroos. That's not what she really said. And then, the Iconics come out and do their whole weird comedy bit. I refer to them as the boner killers because they're really hot. They're very pretty women. But when they open their mouth, it just makes the little guy shrink. I know it's not politically correct, but that's kind of the truth. They come out and Charlotte fights Billie Kay, beats her, and then wants to fight Peyton Royce, fights her, Billie Kay interferes. They both beat up Charlotte. You hear Becky chants, so you think Becky's going to come out. Charlotte ends up spearing both of them and pounds her faces into the announce table and leaves. We have a Thanksgiving fight with the tag team champions of SmackDown, who end up being covered in cranberry sauce. Ugh. So, I'm trying to think of what else happened. Very, very forgettable show. Daniel Bryan came out and, I guess, explained what he did and why he did it. The whole time he's literally referring to himself in the third person. He says, Daniel Bryan did this. When Daniel Bryan was 9, Daniel Bryan pooped his pants. Daniel Bryan was hurt. Then Daniel Bryan came back because Daniel Bryan felt like it. And it was like fucking Bob Dole. It was like everybody's impersonation of Bob Dole, but it's Daniel Bryan. So his whole reason is that he turned his back on the fans after he had to retire. And then he came back and he saw what he needed to do to be a champion again. He took advantage of it. And he actually said balls. He didn't say, I kicked you in the grapefruits. He says, no, I kicked AJ Styles in the balls. And that's obviously a Vince McMahon thing. And then he proceeds to announce a shocking announcement that the Yes Movement is dead. The new Daniel Bryan is here, wearing his weird Kurt Cobain grunge plaid sweater. So, and it's announced that he'll face AJ Styles for AJ Styles' WWE Championship rematch. Speaking of, and then I'll get to AJ Styles in a bit. It ended with Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton. Orton winning with an RKO outside the ring, and then he RKO's him again by, I think, taking off his... He takes off his mask and he RKO's him, and then he takes off his mask again and just leaves him in a heap. So that happened. Anyways, it gets to AJ Styles. The talk is that he is negotiating a new contract with WWE, which is one of the reasons why he wanted to drop the title to Daniel Bryan. Was he wanted to negotiate for 3 years. I'm not sure of the pay rate. I'm not sure how much he wants to get paid. I imagine they'll pay him a hefty sum because he's AJ. He's done a great job since he's been here. But he wants a lighter schedule. He wants that Randy Orton schedule where he'll work SmackDown, but he'll work limited house shows. And he'll work the pay-per-views, of course. But he wants a limited schedule, which, if I'm WWE, just give him what he fucking wants. I mean, SmackDown's already bad. If you lose AJ Styles, it'll be even worse. I mean, you're already about to lose Nakamura, and you've dropped the pooch with that. You screw the pooch with that. I mean, if Nakamura leaves, I don't think it would really matter. He wasn't even on fucking SmackDown tonight. Oh my god. Just get fucking rid of him. Send him packing back to Japan. That's not a racist comment, by the way. He lives in Japan. Shut the fuck up. But yeah. AJ Styles, just give him what he fucking wants. If you're WWE, if you're Vince McMahon, if you're Triple H, whoever does the contracts, I think Triple H takes care of talent. Give him what he fucking wants. Let him work a limited schedule the way he wants. Let him work, stay with his kids. He's fucking 40. You can't drive these wrestlers into the ground like you used to, which they're not. To their credit, they're not. They gave. I know Jeff Hardy's working that kind of schedule. He's working that limited schedule because he wasn't on SmackDown tonight. I think Rey Mysterio's working a limited schedule, which I would imagine he would. And then Orton, same thing. Brock's a different case. Just give AJ whatever the fuck he wants. I was going to talk about something else. There was something else out. Oh yeah, Alexa Bliss. It was reported by, I believe, Dave Meltzer that Alexa Bliss still hasn't passed any of WWE's concussion protocols. She had an injury in October 11th, I believe. She was slated to be part of the Evolution pay-per-view event, and where she was going to be in a tag match with Mickie James against Trish Stratus and Lita. She had to miss it because of that injury. She still has not been cleared by WWE, which is why you saw her just be on the apron and just not dressed in her wrestling attire, but just dressed up because she can't wrestle. The talk, there's rumors that she might not even be able to wrestle again, which, if that's the case, that sucks because she's younger than me. I know for a fact Alexa Bliss is younger than me. Let me just be sure of this. I know she's like 26. 27 years old. I was close. Yeah, 27 years old. If she has to retire because of that, that just sucks. I mean, I'm glad that WWE is taking their, the wrestlers' health seriously, especially when it comes to concussions, because back in the day, it was, said, if you were hurt, they would still make you work. You look at, someone like Kurt Angle, he was wrestling hurt, and WWE wouldn't let him take time off, in Ring of Hell, Eddie Guerrero would be fucking just, like, he was begging them to give him a lighter schedule and let him take time off, but they wouldn't let him. He'd be in the corner drinking tea, and he could hardly fucking move, and, Dean Malenko was, like, giving him painkillers. It's a good thing that obviously it's something that they have to do. I don't think they're doing it out of the kindness of their heart. They're doing it because they have to. Because, ever since the whole Benoit thing happened, it's been a huge eye-opener. Now they really have to take care of their wrestlers. Because they really could get sued, and the one thing that they forget about is that wrestlers are independent contractors. They could leave whenever the hell they please because, they're not breaking any barrier. They're not breaking any laws. They're not breaching any contracts. If they want to leave, they can. They're independent contractors. What can you say? Yeah, Alexa Bliss. I'm hoping this is all just talk. I'm hoping she comes back as soon as she can. I mean, she wasn't exactly lighting the world on fire, but when you look at that Divas division, she's one of the the top stars. She's a great talker. She can talk people into the building. She's good at playing a heel. Her wrestling ability not that great, but she's young. She still has time to get better. Trish, when she was starting out, she wasn't that good, and she openly admitted it. She said I wasn't that good, and then I begged, Fit Finlay to train me, and she got a lot better. She took it seriously. Hopefully, Alexa Bliss, takes it seriously, and it seems like a lot of these girls, they're not trained properly. They need better training, which is why you saw something like Nia Jax pretty much cleaning Becky's clock, which again that's kind of a dead issue. We talked about it already. So, and Becky, another concussion. She should be back soon. So, anyways, that's pretty much it for this show. Next week, I announced it a while back. Next week, John Draper from Wrestling Soup will be on the show. John Draper from Wrestling Soup and Global Balding will be on the show. I'm looking forward to that. I'm very much looking forward to that. Can't wait. You guys are going to friggin' love it. I'm going to love it. I don't even know what we're going to talk about. As you all know, this Thursday is Thanksgiving, Turkey Day, as I call it. Pretty much, I don't want to make this PSA. Try to have a good Thanksgiving, guys. Don't do anything stupid. Don't get in trouble. Don't get in trouble with the law. Don't hurt anyone. Just have fun. Just eat your turkey, eat your pie, have your beer, and watch the football game. That's really all you gotta do. Don't do anything else. Don't do anything else is stupid. On the other end, I'll just be with my girl. I'll just be with my girl and her family. I think we're going to her cousin's house afterwards. That's really about it. Black Friday shopping, I never do Black Friday, mainly because I'm broke most of the time, but even if I did have the money, I would like to have money on Black Friday just so I can maybe partake in things. I certainly wouldn't wait outside a fucking store at 2 in the morning and wait for it to open up. I would maybe just do Cyber Monday deals or Cyber Sunday deals. I think there's a Cyber Sunday and a Cyber Monday. So, yeah, it's one of those things where it's just I wish I had money to be able to partake in this shit. So that's what I'm doing for Thanksgiving. I hope you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Please be safe. Again, I can't spend too much time on this. Just please be safe. That's all I really ask you. Just have fun. Be safe. Be safe with your family and friends, and just even if you're not spending time with family, just be safe by yourself. Have a beer, have a piece of turkey, and just be safe. And again, next Tuesday with John Draper. Twitter, Drew Yari Show, any other platform that you use podcasts in, Spreaker is our home base. Be sure to go to iTunes and leave a review if you like what you hear. Put a star rating on Spreaker. Make sure you hit the follow button if you like what you see. And Facebook, same thing, Drew Yari Show. And that's really about it, guys. Thank you for listening, and have a great holiday, and I will be back next week.